Hi folks, in this tutorial we're going to do an updated version of packaging. Um, uh, Previously it was a little bit different. Really nothing major has changed, but as always, as we get newer versions, CS5, CS6, we have newer tools, and so that's what's going on here. Things have changed just a little bit. So let's get started. Packaging, especially in print, there's the equivalent in web pages. For those of you who are familiar with that, you have to have all the files, all the graphic files, all of the important pieces, parts, if you will, properly put together and in the right places. Otherwise, for instance, a web page, you'd go to it. If the links get broken, you would end up with little blank areas on the web page. Well, the same thing, similar, has always gone on in print. And so the process of collecting all the pieces, parts that need to go to a print shop are essential that you get it right if you want smooth sailing when you take files to a print shop for professional output. And we'll talk about a little bit here in a minute. Of course, we rely heavily these days on PDFs, but the basics of packaging is still fundamentally important. Okay, so here's the deal. When we want a file like this to be printed or output in high resolution for a printing press or for professional printing, we have to have all of these individual pieces, parts, go to the print shop as well as the InDesign file itself. Okay, what we're saying here is that just because we see a graphic or a picture on the screen, that's simply a placeholder, a low resolution preview of the image. The actual graphic that you placed on this page has to go to the print shop, as well as the fonts, as well as some other things. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we want to look at is the links, meaning that is the graphic images. And every time you place, and this is very, very important, when you want a graphic to be picked up or registered with the links and the rest of the packaging process, there's only one way to bring a graphic onto this document, and that is File, Place. It's Command D in InDesign, File, Place. If you drag and drop or copy and paste, you know, it may not properly get noticed, if you will, in the links panel. Absolutely, it won't be if you just drag and drop it. It won't be recognized, and then it won't get packaged. So you want to use the place command whenever you're bringing a graphic into a document that you want to then later properly package. Okay, and then it will instantly be seen right here. File, let's go ahead and do it, place, and I'm going to just go to some images real quick and see what we have. Let me just grab something here. Here we go. And let's say the old Dune image that I often use. And you see, I click it, and here it is on the page. And as soon as I place this image on the page, if we were to look at the links dialog box, there it is. It immediately showed up here. Okay, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to delete it because we have these other images already here. And notice as soon as I deleted the image, it disappeared from the list of the linked images. So what has changed, one of the neatest things, is that you can see all of the important information related to your placed images. Right here in the links dialog box. When we go to actually packaging, I'll show you and point out that the same information is available in the packaging area, and that has always been there. What's different is this now, and when we have links, okay, like we have here, we now can turn this little triangle right here, and as I select each image, the important information that used to only be over in the packaging area is now available right here in front of us. And the document behind the scenes is constantly monitoring this information. So what's important is, especially for my students who have gotten used to hearing my mantra, for print, everything should be TIFF or EPS. Everything should be converted in color modes to CMYK. As a matter of fact, there's the other previous video on image prep, and it goes through those details, the things you need to do for all of your images in Photoshop. So this tells me it's a TIFF. It tells me it's a CMYK image, and it also gives me information about the all-important resolution. And what we have is what's called the actual resolution, and then what I call the final or effective resolution. And what happens is, many of you know, there's the fundamental relationship of when we make images bigger, that it lowers the pixels per inch, the resolution of the file. And when we reduce images, it raises proportionately the resolution, the pixels per inch. And we can see that in Photoshop in the image size dialog box, and they have it for us right here. So if we were to open it up in Photoshop, it would say it's 100 pixels per inch. And in this case, I know that the student, once they placed it on the page here, they reduced the size of the image, and so that increased the resolution. As a matter of fact, in this case, there are two numbers, and the reason there are two numbers is because it's actually distorted slightly. Whether the student did that on purpose or not doesn't matter. But it is slightly distorted. I'm going to change to a different image, and we'll see here. Okay, again, this was or is the original image 72 pixels per inch. It is now 150. So again, the student here in InDesign reduced the size of the image, and that raised the resolution, and InDesign keeps track of that information. Here also you see just one number because it's not distorted, so it's 150 pixels per inch vertically and horizontally, which is really most of the time what you want to do. You don't want images that are distorted. So we can go through and we can look at all of our images. We have the tools here. If a link gets broken, we would have the little yellow warning sign telling us. It would be right next to the image saying that there's a problem. You modified that image and you need to update the link. And if that were the case, we would, like here, select it, and then we would come right down here to this little this little graphic symbol that's grayed out right now, and we'd click on it, and that would update the link, and the little yellow triangle would go away. If the image is completely missing, it doesn't have contact with it, like a web page might have a broken link, then you'll actually have a red stop sign. That can be a problem. As a matter of fact, let me real quickly try to see if I can replicate some of this business, and I'll come back to, what I'm doing is I'm hiding the image folder. Bingo, here we go. Great. All right, here's what I'm talking about. I moved the little folder with these original images, and suddenly, as you saw, immediately the InDesign file recognized that, oops, the links have been broken. I don't know where they are, and you need to go find these images. The red stop signs are a major problem. If you just had the little yellow triangle that said you need to update the link, that's easy to fix. But here, we have completely lost track of it, so we have to go and find it. I mean, that's the bottom line. We just have to go and find it, okay? So we can double click on these things to update a link, or we can go here to relink it, and you can, and as you see here, you can option click a couple of different ways, but the point is that we need to go find it. And so we would double click, and that essentially would take me to my go and get it, go and find it, and we'll be in good shape. Okay, so that's basically you know, how it all works. And the bottom line is, before you package a file, you need to make sure that there are no yellow triangles here, there are no warning red stop signs here, and that all of your file format and your color mode and your resolution information is properly set up. And that's what we want to do. And all of that, checking all of this business, is called pre-flighting. And in the earlier versions of InDesign, there was actually a pre-flighting button over under File, but now there's only the direct step of packaging. Pre-flighting, again, is just like it sounds. It comes, I guess, from flying, the idea that we check everything before we take off, and want to make sure that we're ready to go, and that's sort of the idea. I'm going to put these links back with this stuff, and we'll go back, and you will see suddenly, there we are, the red stop signs instantly went away, because the InDesign document sees the image or links folder again. All right. The other important part of this that we need to look at is the pre-flighting that takes place on the fly constantly when we're working on documents. And we down here in the lower left hand corner, we have the newer tools for the pre-flighting. You see right here there is a little green sign, green light, and it says there are no errors, everything is looking good. If there were some problems with resolution, file format, etc., this will automatically on the fly change to, say, red. It will change to a red stop sign, and it's a warning that you need to look at what's going on. And we can also, as you're going to see, we can actually set up parameters telling the InDesign document what to keep an eye out for. You know, remember, if this was a book or a magazine and I had hundreds of images and links and it was very complicated, you can't just rely on your visually looking it over to make sure that there are no problems before you package. So here we can, this is what's called the pre-flight menu, and here it's we have the pre-flight panel, okay, and the bottom line, without getting too complicated in this video, is that we have what's called the basic working profile. What that means is set of instructions as to what the document should be looking for. And for all of the folks who are familiar with print, that's the basic stuff. Okay, and what is really neat, however, is, I'm going to show you in a second, you can create your own profile that is more than the basics. And here's what we're talking about. The basics, again, come down here to the info button, and I'll turn that, okay, and let's see here. I want to create, and I'm going up to the options button. I want to see the basic things that are going on, okay, and so I can go here and see my pre-flight options. All right, so again, here is the basic working okay, the basic working profile, and if there were several others, and I'm going to create one in a second, you would have that as an option. Here, pre-flight options, define profiles. Here's where we're going to take a quick look. Define profiles. Okay, and that takes us to this dialog box. And this dialog box has, again, the basic, and then we can come over here and we have all the different general areas. The links. Notice I turned the triangle. Let us know if the links are missing or modified. That's the red and the yellow triangle signs, and so that's a standard, and that's a part of the basic profile. Color. Look for a bunch of different things that might be important. If you're using spot color, you don't want any CMYK images. And so I could turn this on and it would say, you know, it's giving me a warning that I'm about to modify it. What I'd actually do is save it under a new name if I want to change the basic profile. I would go right down here to the left, and I will click it, and gives me place to do a new one, and I'll just say Rick Rice, and OK. All right, and so now I have the Rick Rice profile, and again, let's take a look, and the options. Okay, oops, sorry. The profile, and so on this one I want to say, oh, I'm using spot color, so I want to know if there are any CMYK images. Bingo, I just simply check that, and again, remember, most of this is the basic stuff, but you know, how many colors am I using? Only 2 spot colors. If there are 3 in an image, it's going to give me a warning sign about that. And so it can be, you know, only color space is not allowed. I would typically want to say for print, no RGB, you know, and so I would turn that on, and etc. And then it can go even further down to the point of resolution. Here's our images and our objects and our image resolution. And you know, let me know if an image is distorted. Let me know. Okay, here I can set minimum and maximum resolutions to things, and it's just really quite incredible, and it will keep track of all this stuff. So you can make it as complex as you want, and then it will, on the fly, keep track of all this stuff, okay? And so, right now, we're going to stick with the basic, let's say, and it is, in fact, going to tell me if there are any problems. And so here, for instance, when there is a problem, you turn this. Oh, I had that CMYK. Oh, okay. So I click on it, and here you see it gives me all of this detailed information about anything that it's questioning, and amazingly, right below, see, here's, because I changed that, here's the red stop sign, but the information, what is the problem, and even gives me a fix, tells me what I need to do to fix it. I mean, I just think it's pretty amazing. So I still am really surprised by all this stuff. But essentially, that's how it works. And so you can set up the parameters. Somebody's looking over your shoulder, and then you can fix all of your problems and issues. And like I said before, see here back down in the corner, because we had that new piece of information. Now suddenly, instead of it being a green sign, green light, I've got a little red one telling me, whoa, you need to fix some things before you package. But assuming that in fact we get all of these bugs worked out, then what we want to do is we want to say, okay, let's go ahead and package. Okay.